Be ready, be ready, be ready, be ready, be ready.
REDDY, resilience in my eyes, education, discipline, determination, and that's why.
Be ready, be ready, be ready, be ready, be ready.
Welcome to another episode of Ready Pipeline Podcast.
Hey, Warriors, wake up, soldiers, check in. What mission are we on today? I'm Coach Jay. Hey, let's go get it today.
Be ready, stay ready, already. It's me, Ted T. Hey guys, I'm glad you're back. Hey, we're here. We're in the school year. Those that don't know, this is an education podcast. It's really not even education. This is it's life. We really talking about be it social issues. We talk about education. We talk about motivation. We hit all genres. We even put a little sports in there for some of you guys.
Absolutely.
We on here. We go have fun. We just go touch on things that's happening in your life, that's happening in your neighbor's life, that's happening in someone in your family's life. So just stay tuned, and we got some great things coming. But this week episode, I wanted to touch on a few things. Well, you know what? Before we even go in that, I just want to how you before we go in the spiel, how have you been since the last podcast?
Oh man, it's been been growth, man. Every day, man, just trying to get better, trying to get stronger, mentally, physically, spiritually on a daily basis, man. It's always each day. I have grown to understand that every day I wake up, man. When you get past 30, you get to 40. You start to look at, hey, we got to be grateful for the opportunities that we have, the life that we have. When we was younger, we was running and gunning and taking it for granted. But I've been able to really think about life in a way where I can cherish and preserve moments, that are moments that are truly to be grateful for, man. And I'm grateful for the growth. I'm grateful for my mind, my ability to continue. And, all of those different principles, man. And I have seen my growth, and I'm starting to slow down to understand who I am and how I move and the things that pull me. So I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful to be here. And just grateful for the opportunity to share what's inside of me, all of my experiences, to reflect and bring all of that forward into, from critical reflection to now understanding the things that we've learned and now taking it into critical action, man. Critical action on a daily basis that impacts other lives. And hey, that has been my day in and day out process and growth and evolution. So I'm ready, man. I'm fired up. I'm thankful, brother.
Already. Hey, well, y'all heard Coach J over here. You heard him, right? Mine ain't that good. It's been lovely, man. Like what you just kind of said, that maturity, it's almost, it's like sports when things kind of slow down and you can see it, you can forecast it, you can see it a little bit before it comes, or you can see it as it's coming to you. Some things that when I was a little younger, that I would probably indulge in. Now I can kind of see it, and I can put that X. No, you can have that. I certain things you probably don't pay for it in the moment, but you definitely go pay for it on that back end.
Absolutely.
So, and if y'all know what I'm talking about, y'all know what I'm talking about. You could you could take that any type of way you want to take it. I've matured. I even had this crazy dream the other day. I just woke up. I had this moment. I had to wake up and like get it off me. I pray every morning I get up, but this particular day, I still pray. Don't get me wrong, but I had a dream like I woke up in the middle of the night, kind of like get it off me. I could, just getting that bad thought, that bad thing out. I had to get it off of me. And I had to say it out my mouth, say it out loud. So that was a sign of maturity because. Normally I wouldn't know how, well, I can't say normally, but back, in the past when I was younger, I wouldn't know how to react to something, just that crazy or that vivid. I had one of them vivid dreams, and one of them, I had a vivid dream, y'all. I had a vivid dream.
And that's the crazy thing about it is that, and that's one of the things that I learned, and that's really what I'm saying is that I've learned that we can make a decision to, say, hey, how we want to, what energy we want to put into something, or
Yeah.
if we want to allow something to overcome us and allow, things outside of us don't have to control us.
Right.
Which is the big thing we talk about with the youth is that, when for example, when a child, like my son or somebody say, they made me mad.
Oh, man.
They made me mad.
Yeah.
Right? But we start to learn and grow, and we start to teach them, and even with ourselves, we say, you know what? It ain't what they did. It's about what we decided to allow, to how it impacts us, how it affects us, influences us, and growing into that. I'm truly grateful for, because there's always going to be challenges. There's always going to be obstacles and things that don't go the way you plan. Like, man, why you going those questions of why me and all these different things going to happen. But then I've learned to stop and slow down and say, okay, all right, what can I learn from this situation, and how can I position myself to be able to solve a problem, and what can I learn from it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And how can I move forward with the least amount of damage done to me or other people, especially that's connected to me. You know what I'm saying? So that understanding is what I'm grateful for, because it ain't always pretty.
Right.
But hey,
right about that.
how we move, is important, man.
I'm gonna tell you what you just said out of that. I can sum it up for you. Get your emotions out of it.
Yeah.
Erase your emotions. H-Town used to have that song, emotions make you cry sometimes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Emotions, get out of your emotions. Get out of your own way. When you start dealing with your emotions, look, I can pinch you right now. I pinch myself. It hurt for a second and it's gone. That's how your emotions is. It come and go.
That's that emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you got to get out your emotions. Get out of your own way. So I just wanted to touch on those bases, just see how we were doing. I just want to let y'all know.
Absolutely, man.
I want y'all to check us out, see how we feeling, just on the personal side. And but
I appreciate you asking, brother, because a lot of times us as black men, you don't get asked the question about how you doing, brother. You just kind of expect it, and it's real. We expected to just navigate it without losing a step, without asking for help, and all these different things. But it's important that we start to check on each other and be like, man, how you really doing? Give me the real story.
Right.
All right. Turn the camera off. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Look here, how you doing? And most times, we kind of, I guess, have that internal clock or whatever. You just how you doing? Oh, I'm good. How you doing?
Yeah.
I'm all right.
Yeah, I'm straight.
How you doing? I'm blessed and highly favored.
Yeah.
One of them. Look,
I'm staying out the way out.
Yeah. I'm staying out the way, slow boogie.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to make it.
Yeah.
Trying to make it. Look here. How you doing? Hey, bro, my dog died today. My mama got worms. Or should I say, my mama died today and my dog got worms. But it's, you just be going, how you doing? Now, come on back. Let me tell you, I'm gonna tell you how I'm doing. Let me tell you everything.
Yeah.
But that's you know how it is. Uncle Charlie Ray. I'm my Uncle Charlie Ray. But on the cool. Hey, we gonna have a podcast, y'all. We gonna have a podcast. Look, I like to have fun. I don't know about y'all.
Absolutely,
I like to have fun. I was a stand-up comedian for about 3 weeks. And I did
whole 3.
Yeah, whole 3 weeks, man.
21 days.
Yeah. I did stand up for a little while off of there, and I just like to have fun. That's just something I've always been that way ever since elementary. Probably, the reason I repeated first grade is what it is. But I love it. I love it. I always take light of certain situations. Never let life be so uptight that I can't laugh and have fun. So.
So short,
yeah.
man.
Oh yeah, it's definitely short.
What was absolutely fun today, and we experienced today and last week was the REDDY basketball league.
Yeah.
Schools from Fort Worth, elementary schools that Coach T has been able to organize, and really just seeing how just something simple as organizing a basketball league where you can see different elements come into play, such as families coming together to enjoy their children engaging in activity, looking at youth growing from week to week. We want to highlight that because that's extremely important. And just looking at, from teachers coming to the game, from people just showing love and people participating and volunteering to run the clock, and you got referee, all these different things. I think that has been a phenomenal experience, man, and we saw some great growth with the students today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I want to, let's highlight that because I don't want to I don't want to miss that opportunity to help, you know, my fellow teachers, my parents, my stakeholders in the community to understand, man, hey, our youth have the ability to grow in any aspect, but it takes the village. We talked about it last time. It takes us as the village, and it has to be an active village, you know what I'm saying, an engaging village that's willing to, you know, to step outside the box, you know, and we saw that. We saw that, and it was real cool to see, you know, for example, the team that we were coaching, the students last week. They came in their first game. A lot of them had never played basketball before, right? Never played basketball before.
Basketball,
they came out and they saw a crowd.
Yeah.
They saw a crowd. It was a good 100 people in the crowd, a big crowd to them. They was like, oh my goodness. They were nervous, butterflies. They sweating. They ain't even been on the court yet. Sweating. Get nervous.
Don't know what to.
Yeah, they running around. Oh Lord. Right? And when they got on the court last week, you could tell, you know, that this was their first time. They nervous. You know, they never been in this high pressure situation before. You know, they was, you know, of course they're gonna make mistakes, but you know, they doing stuff and just whatever, you know. But they made it through that game last week.
Right.
You know, tough game. You know, took a loss, but from week to week, we continue. You know, Coach T continue to work with them. You know, practice with them, continue to talk to them about, you know, where their mind needs to be in this game and how they can, you know, improve in different ways and how they can help each other as a team and look into their teammates and look, you know, helping each other and you know, passing, all the different things that goes into basketball. But the bigger understanding is that this week, when they got on the court this week, it was it looked like a whole different team. It was like, who was this group? Right. The growth, you know, they got out there and, you know, their first game, they were clicking, and you know, there was more hustle, there was more effort, there was, you know, there was more teamwork, you know, talking and movement, and even hearing what you wanted them to do. Right. The responding, they responding. The awareness. The awareness was heightened, and as a result of those things, their comfortability, they were more confident. You could see a difference in their performance. The performance went up.
Big time. And guys, the crazy thing about today, you know, the topic was really going to be about, can all kids learn? Like, are all kids teachable? And then the reason I came up with that topic, I heard someone say, I ain't saying no names, but I heard someone say, like, ooh, you just can't get through to them. Like, they just don't listen. They just don't, you know, they were kind of frustrated. They were speaking out of frustration. And this is what we're talking about, is an example of all kids can learn. Now, it's different aspects, and it's perspective, and it's all those things take play a role in this as they're learning. Now, you know, my grandma used to say something, man, my mother, hey, she's like, look here, baby, you just can't save all of them. Some of them just got to go to jail. That was some of them just got to go to jail. But notice she didn't say that they couldn't learn. Just some of them have to be in an institution or be in certain aspects. That's basically what she was saying. Like, basically, like, you can't force this on them. Sometimes the next person is, you know, they can you know, build that relationship and get through to them. But
you never know, and you don't know where their most impactful teacher will be. Right. It might be after the mistake that they meet their most impactful teacher. But the ability is there. Like, I mean, because for somebody out on the outside looking in, coming into the game last week, right, and you saw the team last week, you'd be like, man, they some kids ain't supposed to be just like mama. Some kids that they gonna be playing no bad. You know, you put something else in their hand, not a basketball. Right. But
absolutely,
it's a team sport, right? And everybody can contribute in different ways. Now, this is where perspective comes in. And we already correlating this to can every child learn, even when we correlating it to in the classroom. Right? Is that the perspective that a coach, a teacher, or somebody that's in a position to guide or lead youth, their perspective has to be wider than just a narrow focus on if they can add 1 + 1, or if they can write the sentence, you know what I'm saying, with the period, right? Look at the strengths, right? Look at you know, even if it's minimal progress, you understanding growth, and your perspective is, okay, if I can increase their confidence, if I can increase their decision making to become determined, right? Even if where you got them, they're behind. The skill level, they don't understand. If it's writing, is reading, the skill level. But if you can spark something in there that they make a decision that they're gonna get stronger, they're gonna get better, then that's something that you can build from.
Yeah.
Now collectively, we can see the collective growth because everybody determined.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The child that's furthest behind,
Yeah.
their level of determination, if you spark determination in them and everybody else see them growing, they may be the one that lead the spark for the whole class.
Absolutely.
Right?
Hey.
Because what's the young princess today, the young warrior queen today, she from last week to this week, last week she was timid, she didn't know. This week she's snatching the rebounds.
I'm talking about getting them out there.
Come on, man.
And just what you just said, it becomes contagious.
Absolutely.
It becomes contagious. If you see your neighbor, you see your teammate, and you saw them like I saw them last week, they saw them last week too.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you see it like, whoa, okay, we've been in the same practice, we did the same thing, and all of a sudden you took it to another level.
Absolutely.
Well, I need to take it to another level.
Yeah.
And then when I'm saying another level, I'm not even talking about skill.
Yeah.
I'm talking about effort.
Hello. Yeah.
Effort.
Yeah.
And effort is hard. You can see effort, but it's hard to measure effort.
Yeah.
Like it measure, try to measure effort. But I can see your effort this week versus your effort the week prior.
Yeah, it's hard to quantify. It's hard to say, this percentage of this.
Right.
You would look at a test, that effort is something that you feel it. It's more of a sensory, Man, I can feel you with a different approach to what you're doing. I can feel it. I can see it in your eyes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, your body language, your swagger, that confidence, all that. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. And man, see, this what fires me up, and I hope and I believe that pushing this type of perspective sparks our teachers, sparks our parents, sparks everybody that has a part and role to play in the guiding, rearing, raising, and empowerment of our next generations. Is that, listen, when you start to believe in them and you start to see their shift in determination, no matter how small it may be, listen. If you say, okay, you had a 50, but you went to a 60, well, you can't overlook that.
Right.
You can't say, well, you still failing.
Yeah.
No, that 10, you got to work. Let's go with the 10.
Right.
So you did 10, it went up 10 this week.
Right.
Let's go. Let's see if we can hit that 10 again, or even 15. Let's go. What's up?
Yeah.
Right? Because even when you start to pour into them like that, it's a fire. It's a natural fire that is in every child. So when you say, can every child learn? Well, it's deeper than the learning.
Right.
It's what's intrinsic in them.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Does every child have the ability to spark something spiritually that creates this will?
Right.
That, hey, no matter what challenge you put in front of me, I ain't running from the challenge.
Right.
I might not have the skill right now, but when you put it in front of me, everything I got, I'm going to put my best into it. And what I was saying about the best, if you give your best will get better. Right? Especially when you have people around you that believe in you, because they're going to provide you with the skill that's going to help grow the best.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a story, and I use this when I speak at schools about a good friend of mine. I was running track in high school, and for some reason, I couldn't never break a certain time. And I'm running, and at this time, I had never really lost a race, but I didn't really take track serious. So I ran with 3 guys that was, oh man, these guys they can tread water. That's
how fast they were running.
Yeah, they were running. And they went to ODY. I'm gonna give them a shout out.
Yeah.
And then, it was us 3 guys from Dunbar, and so we got up and we was in the district championship track meet. And we running, and guys, we took off. I had the best start, I'm running, got my head down, and this is 100 meters. And as I'm running, they ended up, one was in front, like probably had about 2 steps on me. But the rest of it was kind of shoulder to shoulder. And I ended up finishing 4th place.
Yeah.
4th place. I lost 3 times in one race. I ain't never lost. So, but I ended up running the fastest time I ever ran.
Yeah. I think I remember that race.
Yeah. It was a big one. I mean, people was on side.
Yeah,
they were pulling out money, putting,
I
betting.
remember
They
that
make a bet like we horses.
Yeah,
we was some
I
horses.
definitely was there.
Yeah, and so yeah, man, I ended up coming in fourth place. But the funny part about it, I ran the fastest time I ever ran before.
Yeah.
Just because I was being pushed, just because that group I was running with, and I kind of use the analogy of that, and I'm like, who you running with? They either speeding you up or slowing you down.
That's right.
The people you're around, be it a team, your classmates, your homies, whoever it may be, man, they taking you somewhere.
Yeah.
They taking you somewhere, and I'm talking that's not only I'm talking to my kids, I'm talking to adults.
Yeah.
Like putting yourself in a certain circle. It's some guys that changed my whole perspective as a man. Like I was a grown man. I was about 30. I was in my mid 30s and didn't realize I was a grown boy. You know what I'm saying? And just changing circles, changing influences, having conversations that I never had with grown men, and never like was being checked, not checked in the sense of like, looking down on me like, bro, like this is how we roll, this is how we do this.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about that was so mind changing, my character, like everything. It was like that. I needed that switch. I needed that, and it was that thing. And so I look at my kids the same way, and I see working with children, they're easy to be influenced.
Yep.
And as adults, if you could use that influential, that part for positive, instead, because sometimes us just saying like you can't smoke, you can't learn, or you can't do this, like you influencing that kid is just not being positive with it. So that's big what you just said, and I just kind of reiterated it just because when I spoke about that, or when I speak, that's one of my keynotes. I really speak about that, about man, that circle and that environment, who you're around, and you, like you just said earlier about making the decision. Now I need to learn to make that decision to run with that crew. I need to make a conscious decision to run with this crew. Yeah. And if we can get our kids, our students to the point where they can make those conscious decisions. Yep. Oh, baby, we on fire.
And that's that critical thinking that we talked about before, man. And you said something critical, and this is an extremely serious situation. And concept is that when you hear someone say, we can't, saying that they can't learn, they just, oh man. Yeah. You said something about even as a quote unquote grown, what is in this society was thought to be as grown a age over time. When you get to 30, you get to 30, even 20s, you get to, and they call you grown. That does not mean that you can't still learn. So when we talking about can kids still learn, what a deeper part is, can we still learn? Right? Because in our learning is how we start to build the perspective of how we're going to teach our children. Right. Because if we believe that we can't learn anything else, then we're gonna superimpose that mindset on our children. Right. And that's a lot of times when you hear somebody say that, you also see that they still the same over this period of time. They haven't grown. They haven't, they're still in the same positions mentally, even physically. They still having the same thoughts about how they're going to approach things each day in and day out, year after year, and then they bring their limitations into the classroom or into the household or into situations where youth have to be influenced by the limitations that they put on themselves. Right. They looking in the mirror about themselves, not about the child. Right. So can we learn to be? Can we learn to stretch ourselves? Can we learn to grow and push our own mindset to the pinnacle of our creation? It ain't about the children. Can we do that first? Right. And then we take that expanded mindset, and now we just transfer that type of energy onto our children and let them naturally grow because that's what they naturally are. Right. Yeah.
Hey, bro, you hit it on the nail, and I'm thinking I'm gonna get back to having those gatherings for educators. I did it once before, and I mean it's a social setting. It's somewhere you can kind of let your hair back and you can kind of just kick back and really have a good time. Actually, I used to throw these like little parties, little happy hour. Just really you can just kind of fellowship with people that think like you're in the same profession,
yeah.
and you can just kind of bounce ideas off.
Yeah.
We wasn't doing like a teacher's lounge, like we going in bashing kids.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
You know, we talking about we will talk about work. We talk about how we can do certain things, and just how can we better our situation, and what does it look like on this campus, or what does it look like on that campus, and sharing ideas. And even when you share ideas, it's not necessary that you're going to take that ideal and do it at the next campus or do it somewhere else. You could take it and you can create it, like you can kind of manipulate it, make it, you know, for your campus or for a certain particular student. Yeah. So and just modify, basically. Yeah. We already modify anyway. So you take it in, you modify it. So I really plan on getting back to those social settings and having that. I mean, it was fun. It was real. It was a lot of fun. And I'm looking. Yeah, I'm gonna bring my turntable, y'all.
Absolutely.
I got my DJ. Some of y'all don't know me, but yeah, I got that DJ in me. Been doing it since like 89, 91, 80, something. I've been DJing. You call me DJ Itching Itch. Itching Itch. Yeah, already. Yeah, but
I love it, man, and I think you are laying the foundation or laying the construct for that. When we talking about learning, we talk about growing, and I'm excited about this. When we talking about learning, we talking about growing, we talking about development, we talking about psychological, physiological. All of these aspects of development are the concept of education. So the excitement is that in every situation, you want to set that ambiance, you want to set that cultural framework. Just like at the game, in the game, the kids are playing where you got music playing, you got the parents there, you got the energy, they're cheering. You know, all these things set a tone for the performance of those that you're supporting, right? Yeah. So if it was just, just the youth, they were just in there, and nobody was there, there was nothing going on, and you just told them to get on the court and play. Then I don't think that the environment for their growth that we see week to week would happen.
Right.
It wouldn't be as as obvious, as evident. But a cultural expectation is being set by, you have the village there. You got the representation of the village there. You got music playing. You got energy happening. There's good energy flowing. You got coaches, telling them, hey, let's get it. Let's do this. And that sets the atmosphere for growth and empowerment and seeing themselves improving in whatever it is they're focusing on. And I think it's the same way in any context that you put them in. We got to have those aspects in place for them, and not just for them, but for us.
You're right.
Which is what you're saying.
And what you just said, I'm gonna tell you what you just said. You said all that, and what it reminded me of is basically like having home court advantage.
Yes, sir.
Having a home field advantage.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna bring these sports analogies, entertainment, music analogies.
Yes, sir.
I've done that for years, but I use those analogies because it's just easy to see if you can't really just paint that picture. But when you come on, I just remember, in high school, I remember even in college, playing at home, like that energy, like it's really a home field advantage or a home court advantage. Like it really exists because the energy is a lot different, than you are on the road when someone go. Now, it's not saying that I can't perform at a high level if I'm not being cheered for, but really when I have that, I have that homegrown, that they're in my ear, and I'm just. I sometimes I made a play and I'm like, ooh, I look on film. I did that. I did. Oh well, I did it. But that energy.
That's
that
right.
energy. That's
right.
It
energy is critical, man.
Yeah.
Energy is critical. I think when you said something earlier about having that consciousness, even for the youth, as they're becoming consciously aware of their ability to get better, to improve, or to maximize their effort. I'm consciously saying, okay, if I maximize my effort, it can not only shift the way I feel about myself, but it also impacts my team or the people I'm connected to, right? When I go as hard as I can to reach up and grab that rebound, that gives our team an opportunity to score, to advance, which is the same as, when I go hard in the classroom, or when I go hard at really focusing on growing my understanding, it positions me to be able to help and impact my family at a higher level. You can correlate these things going forward, you know what I'm saying? Because, you start to feel that, you start to have an awareness of it. all right, this is that opportunity that I have to make that decision and say, man, if I make the right decision, I make the decision that, that's impactful, then I can see how it can change my family, how it can impact our community, how it can impact our people. You can feel it, you know what I'm saying? And that sparking that in youth is a foundational piece to getting to where we saying, okay, they learning. You know what I'm saying? They learning. If you can spark that part. So I think it's absolutely possible for any child to learn. There are just some prerequisites that I think we should also consider when we are in position to teach them.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love it. We gonna get ready to some of this thing. We could talk about this all night.
Absolutely,
all day.
we go with it. But
we go. And this is how we conversate. Like this, right?
Man.
You really just catching us in the middle of one of our regular old
just chopping it
conversations.
up.
And so this is how we do. Every time we get together, this is how we talk. This is what we do. This is the energy we exert between each other.
Yeah.
And we got that good old pie-ow. Get y'all that pie-ow. But we get ready to close this thing out and wrap it up. If you got any last minute, last second words you just want to give towards today's subject, just go ahead. Give
Man, absolutely, man. I'm fired up. I'm excited for the opportunity to connect to the minds and hearts and souls of my people, man. I was having a conversation with Baba Amin today with the Uhuru Academy, definitely a phenomenal organization and institution, uhuruacademy.com, about positioning our youth, our children to beat the world to the future, right? When we talking about teaching them and educating and empowering, elevating, we trying to get them to the future. We're not just trying to get them to not just to the next day, not just to survive, but we trying to get them to the future that they can thrive in, right? And what we teach them, has to prepare them and empower them to be able to get to that future and be in position where they can impact the generation behind them. I think we're in a situation where we got to go forward in our thinking. We got to go futuristic in our thinking. I know we was getting into that, and we're gonna get more into that. We get into talk about the esports and talk about different things that are coming down the pipeline that we have to start to consider when we talk about educating. We got to bring all those things into the fold. Hey, let's start looking into the future. Let's prepare our children to beat the world to the future. Let's go.
Already, I love it. I love it. What he just said, he wants us to, meet George Jetson.
There we go. Come on.
Yeah. But I love it. And all I want to say to you is create positive energy so you can go feed your kids, feed your students, feed those that are around you with that same energy.
I love it.
This is another podcast. We'll talk about this, how to get that energy, how to get that positive energy, some of the things that you need to do outside the classroom. But find a way to create that positive energy so you can go and just give it to the masses, give it to the kids at your school, give it to your students, making sure it's contagious. It's definitely contagious. So we don't want to give nobody a cold, but we definitely want to give them some positive energy. Okay.
There you go.
And so that's what we're gonna say. And I'm glad you guys tuned in. Keep watching. Hey,
support, man.
Already support. Hey, like, click, share, subscribe.
All that.
All that. Yeah. Want to write us a letter? P.O. Box. No.
Put it in the comments.
Yeah. And then, you know what? Even if you want to be a guest, you're an educator, you have certain philosophy, just go ahead and hit us up. The email address will be on there. You can, like I said, you can leave a comment, and we can leave your email in there. We'll definitely get to you. All right. And so we go close this thing out. You go close it out. I'll close it out. You go ahead.
Let's go, man. I'm just going to say, let's go get it today. Zah.
Already. I'm with Be Ready. Stay ready. Already. It's me, Ted T. We out.
Be ready.